April, beginning of April, end of March. So we moved all our stuff here from our place in England. We moved from Kent, but before that we were living in Australia. So my name is actually Richard Sayer, but my nickname is French. This is what's left of what I have done. I used to keep one of everything, but it got too much, so I gave loads away. A creature board, this small brand from, that's a Sam Hitz creature board that I did. That's this brand called Newcomb, that's from Sweden, that I did for some friends. There's another one for Newcomb. There's another creature board. This was my first ever, it's not the first ever board I had, but this is the same one again. This is an original Ross Goodman Santa Cruz Gravedigger board. So this was exactly the same as the board that I had originally, with the same colour grey wood stain. And you can see it's a 4-colour screen print, and it even has like a background of like tombstones in black. And one of my favourite things about it, when I got it, was how sick is the graphic on the top that's a coffin that says Santa Cruz. But like when I was a kid, this kind of stuff was like, I just thought it was amazing. So it's like a severed head with one eye, but it's kind of a spider at the same time. It's like that idea that you didn't really want to look at it, but you got sucked in because it was scary. In the 80s, it was cool because it was a bit outsider. You weren't, as a skateboarder, it's not like it is now where skateboarding's so big and accepted. This was stuff that like, there was a them and us mentality of being like, we're skateboarders and that's society and we're not within that. And that's why we want these like shocking graphics and things like this. I used to really enjoy, in the same way that you could go to a record shop and you would see like these square records that had all this crazy artwork. You go to a skate shop and it was like a gallery. When I started skateboarding, it was probably at the lowest point it had been in a very long time. Like I started in like 91. There were no skateboarders in my school. I was the only person. I didn't know another skateboarder. I'd never skated with anyone else. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer, like what is design for me? But I think, see, I don't think of design and art and illustration as anything different, whether I'm doing stuff that's like an exhibition that's just stuff to sell, or it's like a commission that's for someone else. An exhibition isn't so much about money, so I can make what I want, what I personally feel is good. And if no one buys it, the only thing I've lost is my time, because I've done other work to cover it. So you can just make something to put it out there. It's a bit like a wrestling match. They give you something that you want to wrestle and mould and make into something that you're proud of and is good, and also works as something that they will identify with and sell and is good for them. The main issue with designing skateboards is, I mean, the good and bad side of it is that what you get to design on is like going to be between probably 8 inches wide and 32 inches long by maybe 9 at the most. So when you make a skateboard graphic, the factory will give you a template, and the template runs between 10 and 33 inches. You only have this much space to work with or not to work with. That's the interesting thing, is like, it's like how many times can you redesign something within this space? For me, the design came out of a complete freedom of making something for myself. I think the difficult thing is that when you're freelance, you have to try and make work for yourself as well, which is why quite often I'll take those jobs that, like a band will come to you and be like, I have 50 euros, we really want to make this, we love what you do. And then you have to be like, okay, but you have to let me do what I want to do. What good design is being true to yourself. It's actually doing what you do and not trying to be something else. Because I think people can see that. I think that's something you can see, is that when something's not a genuine part of what you do and not part of your brain and your heart, you can see it. And that's what a lot of these smaller brands now, if you tie it back to that, they won't survive, because if they're just doing shit because they want to look like someone else, because that's cool right now, they'll die a death like all those other brands did.
Sicko.